Well, hello everyone. It's Leanne with Crafty Kitty Vintage. I am here to show you my progress with my little golden book journal, 101 Dalmatians, that I'm making for my daughter Maddie. Now I'm doing a voiceover over this video because I was not satisfied with the sound that I produced when I made the video, so I'm going to talk to you here. So this is the first time I've tried this, so let's see if it works. So I put a little washi tape over the spine where I had put a few holes using my template that wasn't very well lined up. So I covered that. Also, I wanted to give it a little bit more decoration. I'm probably going to glue down the washi tape a little bit more before I sew in the signatures. But I wanted to just kind of show you how I did it here. Refer to the first video on this little golden book journey where I talk about how I put together the spine. So here are some of my pages. Again, making this little golden book journal for my daughter Maddie, who is a math PhD student, so that's why the mathiness on there. And the grid pages, which are fun. Lots of little places for journaling here. What I'm doing is I'm about to take the marker that I have and do some faux stitches on and just little doodling on the pages. So this is a little note card that I made with some little letter stickers on an index card. I have a ton of index cards to use, so I'm gonna definitely use them for the junk journaling. Well, hopefully you can hear me as well. I've had a little bit of sound issue with my laptop, having it pick up my voice. So we'll see how this goes. So here, if you had a sewing machine and you were good at that, you could make lots of fun little stitches for your journal. Right now, I'm just using a marker. I will get to the point where I get my sewing machine out and use it for the paper journaling or the journal making. But for right now, this is what I'm doing. Adding a little bit of color here on the little decals on the corners. Those are just like the middle of the O's and the just the little circles that come on the inside of the letters. And I decided to use those sort of reminiscent of the spots on the Dalmatians. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos on junk journaling. I've been a paper crafter for a really long time. In the last probably couple decades, I haven't done a lot of crafting because, work and life. But lately, I'm starting to get back in it, and boy, it's fun. I really enjoy it. So there's a little pocket that I made, testing to see if it's dried before I open the page and go further. So I do have a very inexpensive black ink pad that I'm going to use with this little sponge that I made, that I just cut roughly to make look like spots. And so I'll go through at some point and see, I'm going to glue that sponge on the top of the bottle and use that as my applicator. Oh, here's a fun time. So I have my glue upside down, right? And so now I'm gluing it, and now the glue's coming out more and more and more. And I'm like, no, stop glue. So that's my lesson, to not keep my bottle upside down, because I thought, well, that'll save me time. When I want to glue, I don't have to wait for it to come down. Nope. So here I'm just quickly putting the lid on and saying, stop. I guess some other people have referred to that as volcanoing. Ooh, look, there's a little strand of glue I didn't even see. Look at that. I didn't even see that at the time. And you can see I'm using a vintage glass flower frog for my small bottle of glue to keep that. And that one's not a problem. That one doesn't volcano like the big bottle. So here I'm trying to decide where else I'm going to put my little doodles. And I go through these phases where I just am really decision fatigued. I have a hard time coming up with or making decisions. Someone recently said, I was watching another crafting live. Who was it? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember her name because I wanted to give her credit for the quote. She said something to the effect of, the way you craft is a reflection of what's going on in your life. And it's so true. I'm a little bit scattered when I craft. I have a lot of stuff all over the place. I lose track of things because it's underneath something else, because I'm kind of not super organized. And that's sort of how my brain feels most of the time. And then also when it comes to deciding, sometimes it's so overwhelming that I just freeze up and I can't do it. And so here I'm showing you, I'm going to use a yellow marker to kind of play up the yellow again in the hat. It's pretty pale on the video, but there's some yellow on the hat, which is interesting. It's the cat in the hat, right? From one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. But he doesn't have the red and white striped hat. He has a yellow hat. Never noticed that before. So here I'm putting those little faux stitches, kind of helps reflect that yellow again. And some blank pages here. I've done a little rubber stamping. I wanted to keep a lot of open space to hopefully she could, use it for actual journaling. Some scrapbook papers showing where it's white and I could possibly embellish it further. For some of the short pages that you see there, I've added little tabs. Sometimes I've extended the page with different colored cardstock. It's simply because I didn't cut down my little golden book pages, storybook pages, because I preferred to keep them intact. For my second journal, I may consider folding them in on the inside rather than, I don't like the idea of cutting the outside of the page. You're losing some of the graphic. But if you cut or fold the inside of the page near the binding, you still have to deal with that little fold, but that's where it would have folded anyway in the book, if that makes sense. So anyway, here I'm picking through my little jar of doodads. I have this little M&M key that I'm going to add. I think that was her house key or someone's house key in our old house. Some little stickers I might add. Again, having a lot of trouble making a decision. I think I eventually do. I think I use that little dog stampy looking thing on this page. Yeah, I do. I remember. But it takes me a while to figure it out. And, that's probably normal. I'm just kind of hard on myself when it comes to these things because I want it to flow easily. And sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And I need to just be patient. And speaking of patience, I have a lot of trouble getting the backing off here, off the sticker. I think these are called vellum stickers, something like washi stickers. They're very thin, see-through graphic, and then they come on these kind of have a hard plastic back that I just could not figure out. And I just felt like, I don't know, it was just a struggle. So again, hopefully you can hear me. I am still new at making videos, especially crafting videos. I've watched so many awesome people do their crafts and I've really enjoyed them. And I wanted to sort of show my process, show what I'm doing, and just share that with everyone. So thanks for watching, by the way. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would sure appreciate it. I do some crafting lives on Tuesdays. So if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, especially if you put it on all, then you will get notifications about when I go live. I do also do some vintage live sales every week, Wednesdays and Sundays. It rotates on my channel. It's not the same every week, but I do sell with the lovely Kathy from Picasso Cat and Sabrina from Simon Says Let's Make a Deal. And we bring some awesome vintage finds that we offer up for sale or just show it off to you. And we have a lot of fun chatting with our friends in the chat. So please do come by and say hello. But in regards to this video, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. I love to hear what you have to say. Even if I can't hear you, I appreciate the feedback. I'm gonna do my best to improve every time. So here I've made some pockets with some scrapbook paper. Just use the 12 by 12 and then cut it down. And then in this particular instance, since the front pocket is different from the back print, I took complementary pieces and just sort of made a pocket there. So here I think I'm going to use the washi tape to give it a little color and sort of reinforce the top of the pocket. Not sure if I loved this decision when it came down to it, but at least it was a decision. Sometimes, it just comes to, at least I did something. So let's see. Do I do it? Do I not do it? I honestly can't remember. Do I do it? Do I change my mind? Can't remember. Make a decision, Leanne. Do it or not do it? Did I do it? Did I not do it? At least with washi tape, it's very forgiving. You can lay it down, you can change your mind, but also since it is low tack, if you want it to really stay, you have to go back over it with some glue. And I think what I'm saying a lot of times here is that I'm working with the supplies that I just have in my house, really trying not to buy anything new. If I do happen to pick up something new, it's something that is from a thrift store, something recycled out of the recycle bin, things like that. So yeah, like I said, this is my first junk journal, and I'm using a little golden book because I collect them and I enjoy them a lot. And there's plenty of them out there, so why not use some to make beautiful gifts, useful gifts. One thing I really love about junk journaling is, or making a junk journal for a gift, is that the recipient can use it any way they want. They can just keep it as a keepsake. They can use it for storage. They can store, like, for instance, that little thing that looks like a bookmark is actually stickers. So they can keep those things kind of tucked away and organized. And then, oh, I need a sticker for something, or I need a greeting card, a birthday card, or I need a piece of paper even. And I can come and get it out of my junk journal because they're movable. So it's always changing. It's always evolving with the person who it belongs to. And they can do whatever they want with it. Plus, the nostalgia of the little golden book is really fun. The illustrations and the story itself that is maintained in the journal. Some people, and I'm probably going to be doing this shortly, take an old book and completely change the pages, use the cover only, or rip up the pages, whatever. And you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever suits you. If you own something, you can change it however you like. And it's that creative process that's so valuable to us crafters. Here I'm using some double stick tape. I really, really like using double stick tape for the junk journaling. I also put glue over it. I use the fabric tack that you see there on the desk, and that was recommended by other crafters that I've been watching on YouTube. So I picked some up. Was reluctant to. I have a lot of white glue, but I know that it's really great. It's a silicone-based glue. It dries super fast, grips really fast, so you're able to do more in less time. And also, it's great for fabric. So if you're gluing fabric on paper, sometimes the like Elmer's glue or even tacky glue isn't quite up to snuff. So I believe it's also acid-free. Can't remember exactly, but here I'm putting a pin in the little needle nose bottle of glue. Again, taking an image from a book, a Dr. Seuss book that was falling apart, and it was from my childhood, actually, in a box that I recovered from my parents' house when I cleaned it out. Oh, I decided to round the corners. And you see here, I'm trying to save my thumbs from having to press down because lately my hands have been hurting from all my crafting. I think there's a little arthritis going on, a little inflammation in my joints. Cleaning up my mess. Oh, if you're wondering about the pretty rings that I'm wearing, the ones on my middle fingers, those are beautiful rings made by Laura, Designs by Laura. That's her channel name. She also has a website, and she makes beautiful jewelry from silver-plated flatware. She makes earrings and bracelets and all kinds of things. I just want to give her another shout out because I think she's such a lovely person and makes such beautiful crafts, or beautiful wearable art, actually, with her pieces there. So I love those rings. The little kind of wraparound ring is my favorite. When the ring with the black stone is a really beautiful Victorian Revival ring that my mom had and wore a lot. I love it. Here I'm adding a little bit more of the sort of stitching embellishment. You know, there was a time in my life when this would drive me crazy that it wasn't perfectly even. After watching a few videos, I've been inspired to just relax a little bit when it comes to that, and that it could still look good even though it's not perfect and uniform. Here I did a different stitch. I was kind of not sure after I did it if I would have done that again. I might have just done the straight stitch. You can see on the edge of the paper that has kind of splotches on it. That's some of my coffee dyed cardstock that I made. I'm going to make some more soon for some more journals. Just took plain old cardstock, put it in a bath of old coffee, let it soak a little bit. It just comes out really irregular and aged and nice feeling. So I think I'm going to add another one of these stickers. And that dog, I'm saying the dog looks a lot like Pongo, but of course it's the RCA dog. And I think the RCA dog's a bull terrier. Obviously Pongo is a Dalmatian, but their body shape in that little pose looks a lot alike. And again, just using what I had that washi tape that has those dogs on it. So that made a really nice little edge to that paper, kind of reinforces the edge also, since that paper is not very thick. Here I'm lining up the little zigzag since it is I didn't want to do it sideways in this case or askew. I decided I wanted to line it up, make it square. It's an old postcard of Seattle, a little antique postcard that I put in there. Little fabric tab on that accounting paper. Here I think I'm considering something to put there on the white page, or if I want to just leave it blank. What do I do? Oh yeah, I took out this page from my mom's recipe book, and I think I end up gluing that in. And it's a lined piece of paper. It's really hard to see with my lighting. I'm going to be working on my camera angle too. I would prefer to have it straight on so you can see what I'm seeing. So it would need to boom over my desk. I don't have something that's going to boom over. So right now it's coming from the side. So I'm working on it. Working on it. Here I think I rearranged the pages a little bit. Oh yeah, I think I recently just added a couple of those pages. That's why I'm needing to put a little something else on there. So again, using the double stick tape, I just ordered a bunch of it from Amazon, a multi-pack of different widths. It's really come in handy. Burnish it down with a bone folder. That way when you go to pick up the paper backing, the adhesive actually stays on the paper rather than pulling up with the paper backing. So. And then you see there I have some an old recipe card. Those are fun to have to add to your junk journals. Again, it's something that the recipient can keep in the junk journal. They can use it and actually make the recipe. Just adds a little bit more vintage flair. But I liked using that recipe page, a little cutting that my mom put in her recipe book, because that added a little of her. And this other page is actually a piece of her, or that writing that you see is a journal that she had where she was actually writing about the birth of my daughter, who's going to be the recipient of this journal. So I thought that was a nice touch. It was a journal that I wasn't going to keep intact. I just took out the pages that she wrote in. There were just a few. And then I'm like, what am I going to do with these pages? I don't really want to throw them away. And then most, had some private thoughts that I wasn't going to necessarily share with everybody. But this particular page was talking about how she was staying with us. She had been staying with us in Seattle at our house while after my daughter was born, and just kind of helping for that first week or two. Some more fun pockets. Yeah, I do end up taking that little card that I just tossed up there, putting it somewhere else with some photo corners. I decided to move it to a different spot because the red on red wasn't doing it for me. Here's, I just made those little decal index cards with the rounded corners, used decals with numbers, again, trying to incorporate numbers and math in this, relating to my daughter's interests. So I'm probably looking for a spot to put that piece of printed Dalmatian print paper that I printed just on my simple office copier. and probably having more decision troubles. I think what I did was I made a pocket for that recipe card, if I remember correctly. So, even though I do struggle with the process at times, I do end up with a product that I'm happy with. Lots of different styles out there, lots of people that do a lot of inking of their edges, which I've started to dabble in a little bit. I don't really have the applicators, the dabbers, and so until I get some, I'm just doing some simple, using the pad itself as the applicator for some of the edges. I have a lot of index cards, as you see there, and those make great pockets. They make great little journaling cards. You can decorate them so many ways. You can use the washi tape, you can use fabric, you can decoupage napkins on them. So in upcoming videos, I do plan to do some of the little window envelope pockets that I've seen other people work on. So I'm excited to do that with you all. And I've also been on my crafting lives, been working on a fabric cover journal that is meant that I intend to use for my collection of cat and other fun playing cards that I've been collecting, and postcards. Just making like a little album basically, but making it really cute and decorative, and using some of these skills that I've been watching, picking up from the videos. So washed out in this area where it's white on white. I apologize. It's hard to see there. Plus, I think it's a little out of focus, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, if you're still watching, thanks so much. There's about 4 minutes left of this video. And like I said, I'm doing a voiceover for the first time. I'll see how this goes. This might be a great way for me to put together my content, because I am not an editor. I don't know a lot of the programs and technology, and I get a lot of help from my partner, but I don't want to completely rely on him for everything. So but I'm learning as we go, and I'm just so thankful for everybody's support and love, because I, a few years ago, never would have, actually just 2 years ago, didn't think that I would be doing what I'm doing now on YouTube. And I met so many great friends, and have experienced so much more than I ever would have if I had not started my YouTube journey. So here again with the washi tape, I think I end up changing my mind about the green, because as I'm looking at the journal now, it's gold. So I took off the green and put on some gold washi tape. And here I'm feeling a little less inspired than I did when I started the video. So you'll see me take this off in a minute. I also need to be a little more conscious when I'm making these videos of making sure I'm towards the bottom of the screen rather than up on the top, and you can't really see what I'm doing up there. So I'm going to keep this video anyway. I'm trying to put out one video a week about the junk journaling process that I'm doing. I'm not going to capture every bit of what I'm doing, but I'll catch you up on things that you don't see. And so very soon I'm going to be, well, this video is going to end in about 2 minutes, but I'm going to be in my next video sewing in the signatures. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be really fun. Like I said, I've already made the holes manually with the awl, and I'm going to use some embroidery floss. I have a ton of embroidery floss from needlework projects over the years, and I have my collection as well as my mom's collection, so I'm definitely going to be using that. I think I might do a process where you take beeswax and run it over the thread so that it adds a little bit more protection to it, so it resists moisture a little bit more with that beeswax coating. So that'll be great. I'll look forward to getting that done. And I'm going to add some embellishments, maybe some buttons, maybe some dangles. Just kind of zhuzh it up, make it cute. And then I'll get started when I'm done with this journal. I'll get started on the next one, which is going to be a Haunted Mansion, Disney's Haunted Mansion little golden book journal for my other daughter. Yeah. So, and you see some of the semi-precious stone bracelets that I've been making. I've always enjoyed stones and crystals and things like that, and they're learning about their various properties as well as just being really beautiful natural beads. So, and I make those and I sell some. So here I think I'm saying goodbye. I'm about done. So I want to thank you again. Please do comment. Please do like and subscribe. Please do take good care of yourselves. And yeah, if you have any suggestions, please do put those in the comments as well. Things maybe I'm not thinking of that I can do with my pages. I know that, I'm going to say goodbye now. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.